Hello, my name is Ashley, and today I'm going to be doing a weekly energy reading for the week of December 9th through the 15th. So, I haven't pulled the cards yet. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot, and I don't know which oracle cards I'm going to use yet. So I'm just going to start here and then, I'll decide later. So, alright. I'm really just gonna go ahead and get started. I don't really have a lot to say. Usually I'm loaded with stuff to say, but, alright, so, the week of December 9th through the 15th, what is the overall energy for this week? We just had a new moon. Okay, so we did just have a new moon in Sagittarius, and that was on, I want to say the 7th, so yesterday maybe, or the day before, I don't know. But new moons are kind of right before the new moon. I think it's the dark moon, before the new moon begins, and it can make you feel really tired and really exhausted. Well, that one just fell out, so I'm going to pull it, which just came up in the monthly reading, and I've been seeing it a lot in other readings. So, 6 of Cups, I'm going to take that as overall energy for this week. This could be nostalgia, past love, childhood healing, innocence, friendship. I hear friendship. And, yeah, so that's overall energy, 6 of Cups. But I forgot what I was saying. The energy, it's important to, rest. And, to prepare for the new cycle. So, new moons are about, setting intentions, where full moons are about releasing, attachments or releasing energy. And, the new moon is all about, your new manifestation. So, and it's Sagittarius, and, I keep hearing, and I've been receiving messages just to be, to dream really big, to, shoot for the stars. Because it is possible if you really truly believe in whatever you want to do, just set your goals really high is what I'm hearing. But, don't feel overwhelmed with them, stay here in the present moment, but dream really big. And maybe people you don't always have to share your dreams with people. I remember when I first started, even still now, it's people think that I may be a little crazy, but I believe that I can do that. Otherwise, why would I even say it? why would I even say it, So, I just don't waste my breath saying things, I guess, really, that, I don't mean. I either just, one thing about me is, I'm either gonna say exactly what I mean, or I'm just not gonna say anything at all. I can be very quiet, I can, I can just not talk. I'm good at not talking. I'm good at not communicating, but I'm also really good at communicating, so it's this balance of trying to find this middle ground of bravely and boldly saying whatever I want, whatever I feel, and whatever I believe, and not worrying about what anybody else says. So, anyway, what else can you tell us about the overall energy with the 6 of Cups for this week? Okay, 2 of Swords. So this could be represent making a decision. So this could be a decision of a past love, or because this really is about this one is really about soulmates and past love. And this is just about needing to make a decision. So, alright, we'll just leave that at that. That's what I'm getting from there. And trust your intuition, because sometimes this card always represents intuition to me too, because of all the water in the background and the moon on the card, and she's blindfolded. But her back is kind of turned to the emotions. She seems very cold. So, and the mind, and the swords are about the mind, and the mind can get kind of like, we can become very cold when we're in our minds if we cut off our hearts, and she's kind of like closing her heart. So I feel like this decision that needs to be made needs to be more made from intuition, to trust your feelings. And this is cups. So cups are our emotions, our feelings. Like, what are you feeling? This is like nostalgia, like remembrance, like remembering things from the past, remembering people from the past, like feeling very loving, feeling very innocent. It's very innocent. It's very, yeah, like I said, friendship. That's just what it looks like they're two friends. So I feel like this decision needs to be made more from the feelings rather than from the mind, because the mind is confusing. The mind likes to play tricks. I know that my mind does it all the time. My mind is always like my, like, you know, always, it's like our greatest tool. So it's either our worst enemy or, you know, our best friend, you know. It also depends on what we feed it. So, and these two cards also speak to me about balance. So I just feel like, and since these are the swords, and it's the mind, and these are the cups, and this is like the heart and the emotions, I feel like it's a balance. So maybe not just focus so much on the emotions, but like it needs to come from this place of like feeling, but you can still be logical, because I feel like it's the balance of like the masculine and the feminine energies, and making decisions from the head, which would be this, and the heart, which would be the cups. So I feel like it's a balance between two, and they're both very balanced cards. 2 is a number of balance and like partnership, and 6 is a number of like love and balance. So very balanced, and yeah, needing to make a choice. Alright, so the next I'll ask, what does Spirit want us to know this week? What does Spirit want us to know this week? And a lot of people might be feeling really lost and in the dark. I know I'm feeling that way. I feel like we're really just learning how to trust our intuition and how to lead from, how to make decisions from our intuition, not just our logical mind, which means incorporating our feminine energy, which means trusting in the unknown, which means listening to our intuition, which means following guidance that we have no physical proof of, and that's not easy. I can say that for sure. But I just try to keep going along with it. That's just honestly what I've been doing, and sometimes I don't even realize what I'm doing. I'm just following my guidance, and then I like look back after a period of time and I'm like, okay, that was necessary, I guess. But at the time I didn't really know, like, why am I doing this? Why am I, you know, there wasn't ever really a logical, like, explanation behind, like, everything. It was mostly just, me following my heart, I guess, and listening to that. And, like, just listening to your heart is just terrifying, so. And learning how to trust it is a process. Alright, so back to, what does Spirit want us to know this week? Does Spirit want us to know this week? Alright, I love this card. The Empress. This has been coming up a lot too. This came up in my December monthly reading. But this is just all about, Spirit wants us to know, and that's funny because for the monthly reading, what I asked, what does Spirit want us to know this month, was the Empress. So anyway, this is what Spirit wants us to know, and this what they want us to know is coming in very loud and clear. So nurture yourself, love yourself, embody this Empress energy. This is the divine feminine embodied, and I was just talking about how learning to trust our feminine energy is really challenging, but our feminine energy is powerful, and she's like a boss. She's in tune with her sexuality. Like, one thing that, like, I want to talk about more, which I don't because it's uncomfortable, so that's why I choose a lot of times, especially through this whole process, is like my awakening, is talking about things that people don't necessarily want to talk about but need to be talked about, so we can bring them out of the shadows, really. And that's what, like, light workers do, and a lot of divine feminines came to awaken during this time right now, to discuss these things, and especially talk about sexuality and women's sexuality. And I can speak for myself. Sometimes I feel like I just have this line inside of me that's like my sexual desire is just through the through the roof right now. I mean, it's just insane. Like, and learning how to like harness that power and to use it constructively. I could easily go out and like, you know, sleep with a bunch of men if I wanted to. I could easily like I've had plenty of opportunities to do that. But what the divine feminine is learning, what we're all learning, because the divine feminine is also in the masculine too. So this sexual energy in it, what we have to realize is that, especially as women, our sexual energy is our most powerful energy for creation. It's how we create, and I know that I'm here to create a new earth, and so to use that energy to like create, or you know, like we can really, if you think about our sexual energy and our creation energy, it's just like it's abundance energy. So once you get really in tune to your sexuality, you become comfortable with your sexuality, you feel good in your body, you because I struggled with self-esteem a lot. I did not have confidence. I had also had a lot of blockages in my sacral chakra through my bloodline, and so and from past lifetime wounding. So to blast through those was really challenging. And the fear that's coming up, I feel like a lot of women are experiencing fear. Excuse me, I need a drink. Especially from like wounding from men. And this is like not just in this lifetime. Like I'm talking about like rape or sexual abuse, and that really like causes a lot of shame to be lodged in our sacral chakra. And I feel like the only way that we can really clear these chakras is really to like vocalize, which I said in the beginning, like I'm really sometimes I'm either like communicating like no other, or I'm just quiet, which I don't feel like is a bad thing. I have two sides to me where I'm like super introspective, and then I have times where I'm very extroverted, if that's the right word. But anyway, to harness our sexual energy is very important. I feel like that's what this Empress is. And like learning how to nurture it, and like when I feel a lot of sexual energy, and like you could like masturbate all day long, which masturbation is healthy and great, and it's a great way for women to explore their sexuality and to know what pleases them, so that they can in return like say to their partner like, hey, I like it when you do this, or you know, like, so you can communicate. And I don't know, that's just what I don't know why that came up, but I'm just feeling that. And I've seen other people, some other women that I follow speak about it. And like I said, sometimes it makes me feel better when other people are talking about it. So it's like, I'm not all alone, you know? It's like, these are things that like are just like uncomfortable conversations that people don't really want to have. Like, I don't know why we're not talking more about sex. Like, sex is wonderful and beautiful. It's just been shamed by our society, and that's why there's so much darkness around it. That's why there's so much shame, and there's so much like sexual abuse, and there's rape, and we've just we need to bring it out of the shadows, and we need to be like, I don't know, in my personal opinion, I believe that we should be teaching our children about sex at a really young age, and we should be talking to them about their like their penis and their vagina, and especially because they're exploring it. And if you think about children, they only go off their senses, and so of course they're gonna explore their genitalia. Like it feels good when you touch yourself. Like they feel that, you know. It's pure innocence, which just reminds me of this card. Like, it's just innocence. But it's like our society has distorted our mind so much that like when we see that, we think it's like naughty, it's bad, like don't touch yourself. Like, no, touch yourself, explore yourself, it's your body. If we stopped shaming our genitalia, like just think about like what a huge difference that would make in like our rape culture and like the sexual abuse. And because when you tell a kid like no, like they're gonna explore it in a different way. So if you just allow them to like explore for themselves, like especially there's a lot of boys that are being born right now that are divine men, they're divine masculine energy, and so they have a lot of sexual energy. And this energy, if we teach our young boys how to misuse their sexual energy, then they will. But if we teach them how sacred it is and how powerful it is and how lovely it is, you know, we could see a huge difference. But we have to change how we speak about sex. And it's like that, like, you know, those conversations that you need to have that are really awkward, and so you want to skip over that and you just want to get right to like how you're truly feeling, and like you don't want to like go in between, because I'm totally in a situation like that. It's just like, oh, I don't want to. And so you can just like avoid it. But I feel like that's what we have, like, I'm seeing it the same way collectively. Like, we have to have these conversations. We have to start talking about these things so that we can bring them out of the darkness and like shift to a new way of living. Anyway, okay, so that's what I'm getting with the Empress card. That's what Spirit wants us to know. So like, harness your sexual energy, and it's really important for our manifestation, our sexual energy. So what you can do is use that sexual energy. If you just want to like lay in your bed and you can feel that like horny energy, it's just really like, it's excitement, it's like creation energy. So you think about that, you like calm your mind, and then you visualize. And if you notice yourself visualizing fear, then you're creating that. If you're visualizing yourself dreaming, like I said in the beginning, dream your biggest life. What can you dream? Use that sexual energy and visualize. Create in your mind what you want. And then, but this isn't the emperor energy. So then if the emperor energy was here, it would be like, then you take action on those dreams. But sometimes the step to take, because we're balancing our masculine and feminine energy, sometimes the step to take is to be in our feminine energy and to use our manifesting powers and to use our sexual desires to help us manifest our dreams. And with Sagittarius, I believe Sagittarius is a fire sign, so the fire energy is intense. Like, I can feel the fire energy. Like, I feel it in my sacral chakra, and it's just like intense. It's the passion, it's fire, it's like movement forward, kind of. But sometimes we have to learn, like, I have to, like, when I'm in my Empress energy, like, it's important for me to do yoga. It's important for me to dance and to sing and to like get my body moving and be excited, but to be still, because yoga helps me be still, but it helps me move my body, and I love it because I'm so strong. And so like, it's just reminding me of my strength too, to get me through this time of like uncertainty, because the Empress, she's very in tune to her intuition, so she makes decisions based off more of her intuition, but she's very grounded. She has her balance of her masculine and feminine energy, which I was talking about with the other two cards. It's the logic and the heart, and I just really love this card. The energy I'm feeling from this card is just beautiful. So alright, I'm gonna just leave that there. So Spirit wants us to know that you're like, if you're embodying this, if you're being this divine feminine, like, keep doing it. If not, I feel like this is coming up for people that are in their distorted feminine energy, which I'm going to be making a video actually about the distorted feminine versus the divine feminine and the energy and how different they are, because I've been both. It's quite bizarre. And sometimes I can still notice when the distorted feminine wants to come out, which, like I said, I'll make another video about that. But, oh shoot. Okay, that one fell out too. So maybe this is why we need to nurture ourselves. This is another swords card, and I think this is what, the 10 of Swords? Yeah. This is like a very painful ending, very painful, but the thing about this card is that like there's light on the horizon. It's like the darkness before the dawn is what I hear. But I feel like it's time to rest and nurture your feminine energy. Just love yourself. Take really good care of yourself, because maybe you just had a really painful ending. Or maybe this decision that you choose to make, takes a lot out of you. Maybe it just annihilates your mind, because the swords are about the mind. Maybe it just annihilates the ego. And that can be exhausting, and it can be scary, because this kind of like speaks of like darkness, like a dark night of the soul kind of is what I'm hearing. But the ego's being shed. Look at, he's like dead, he's stabbed in the back. Like, this could be like betrayal. This could just be this is just a painful ending. So I'm glad that came up, because I feel like Spirit wants us to know that if you are experiencing this, it's giving you an opportunity to learn how to nurture yourself, to become your own mother, to become your own lover, to become somebody that, so it's like bringing yourself back from the dead, is what I hear. Because the feminine energy is also about transformation. I did see the death card when I was shuffling, so that might be, because this to me says like death. I mean, this guy's dead. He's bleeding on the ground here. And, so this is painful. This is a painful ending, and I feel like coming out of the darkness, this is where you're headed. Like, nurture your feminine energy. It's funny, because I was just hearing last night, it's time for me to nurture my masculine energy. And so it's like, I'm like, but I feel like maybe I need to like rest it. But it's like incorporating both, like, because like I said, the Empress is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. She has both energies that move through her freely and balanced. But just know that, like, if you're experiencing a painful ending, but know that, like, this energy, because like I said, this, when I see this card, it's a very beautiful energy, very nurturing, very loving, very caring, very comforting, very motherly, very motherly. So maybe, like, if you're experiencing this and you're moving through this energy of, like, defeat and darkness and just death and, like, like, a lot of pain, that this energy is on its way. You can trust that. Alright, so then next let's ask, what are we not seeing clearly this week? What are we not seeing clearly this week? Okay, the Devil. So these are, like, this is like the trickster. So this is like our, like, addictions, like our codependency, childhood wounding. So, like, the mind coming in and trying to trick you. This is like attachments, like, not, and I feel like a lot of people feel powerless. It's an illusion. But a lot of people in this country have felt powerless for a really long time, and they came in this lifetime to, like, break the chains that bind them. So a lot of people are feeling, like, tied down, and this is an illusion, and you can break free from this, but you just have to believe that you can, and you just have to move through it. So what we're not seeing clearly is, this could be deception too, lies. Let's pull another one. What are we not seeing clearly with the Devil? Like, this is like it's like self-sabotage too. Sometimes, like, when we experience this energy of, like, this Empress energy and this love, we feel like we don't deserve it. And so what we tend to do is we self-sabotage. And that's what I'm feeling with the Devil. It's like we want to embody this energy, but then at the same time we almost fear it. That's me. Like, because I know when I'm embodying this energy, it's bringing me everything that I want. That can be a little terrifying, you know? To get everything you want. Everything you desire, everything you've been working hard to manifest, like, it coming to fruition, because that's what this is about. Like, you see the fruit on her dress, like, this is about, like, manifestation and love and dreams coming, like, manifesting your dreams, your desires, your heart's desires. Okay, so what else are we not seeing clearly with the Devil this week? Knight of Swords. So this is like communication and the mind. Again, another swords card. This is like very impulsive, very not very nice, very abrupt, very harsh, very, so I'm feeling like this fear is causing this communication to be, like, harsh and not very nice. It's like the wound and the ego is being triggered, or the heart feels threatened. It's like feeling threatened and then acting from this place of, like, harshness. Like, that horse kind of looks scared, you know? Yeah, so this is, like, very immature communication. And so if you experience that, like, I know Mercury just went direct, so we might still have some, like, lingering, like, communication issues through that, because that always brings up, or, like, notice when you find yourself communicating harshly, like, are you doing it to protect yourself? That's what I have to remind myself, because sometimes I can get that way, especially because I've just come from a very, like, distorted masculine energy, and so the way that, like, sometimes my masculine energy, the voice can sound in my head, my inner masculine's voice can kind of sound harsh and mean, but it's really just this. it's like this, because this is about inner child too. It's about inner child healing, like inner child wounds. So it's really important for me personally to recognize that, am I hearing him like this, or is he actually sounding like that? Does that make sense? You know, it's just like, sometimes my mind can trick me. And like, because my masculine, like my divine masculine energy is not like that at all. Very understanding, very encouraging, very, you know, helpful. But it's sometimes me, myself, who hears the inner masculine voice as this, like, harsh, immature, mean, condescending, impulsive, irrational voice, you know? That's for me personally. So sometimes, you know, I feel like these are for me personally sometimes. So just take whatever resonates for you. This helps me too throughout the week to help me understand what I'm going through. Just helps make things like a little bit clearer. I'm drinking coffee. I love coffee, which is also another thing that comes, like, that reminds me of Devil, because this is all about fear too. And the Empress, which is all about, like, nurturing. So we feel good, you know, because when we feel good, we act good, right? You know, we move from a place of feeling good. But like caffeine, I'm allowing myself right now because I'm just moving through. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Okay, 3 cards just fell out, and I feel like they're relevant, so I'm gonna go with them. And the Death card was one of them, which I said I saw earlier. Okay, so I'm gonna go and keep these in the what we're not seeing clearly. So what flew out was the Knight of Wands, which I've been seeing this card a lot too, and I was talking about passion. I like that both these are knights too. And the Death card. Look at all the horses. Like, riding in on the horses. So, okay, so yeah, both knights. So Knight of Wands, which could be like, this could be like rapid movement forward too, but it's just like a little bit unstable, not very steady. And this one too, look how both of the horses on both these pictures are like rushing forward, galloping forward. And this is passion. This is very passionate. There's the salamanders again on his, which is about like walking through fire. I was saying like the fire energy and the Sagittarius energy. So maybe the communication could be harsh. Maybe this could represent 2 different people. Maybe one person is feeling very passionate and moving forward, rushing, and it's causing the other person to act like defensive with this Devil card here. So anyway, that's just kind of a storyline I'm getting. And then with that, the other 2 cards that fell out with the Knight of Wands was the World. So this is like the completion of a cycle, like the ending and a new beginning, like coming full circle, which is great. This is a beautiful card too. And any of these animals might resonate with you. I think this is like a bull. I feel like it's Taurus. A lion, which would be like Leo, and then the eagle. I love eagles, so whenever I see them, I know that's a sign for me. And then this one also fell out, the Death card. So this is all about like transformation, like letting the old die, letting the past die, which kind of reminds me of this card that I was saying here, and how the feminine energy is all about like transformation and death and rebirth. So I feel like a rebirth is really on the way. It's like coming really quickly, because we had both those rapid, like the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. And then yeah, here we go again, the Death card. So transformation, that's what we're not seeing clearly. I just feel like all those go together really well. And like the knights are really young, but there's nothing wrong with young. Like, I feel like, especially me, like I feel like we have the pages, you know, there's the page and the knights, and sometimes like I'm just very, it's funny because I'm like coming out of this like innocent energy, and I keep messing with my hair, and I'm ready to like chop my hair off, you know, like when women like they're ready to like change it up, or like, you know, like they cut their hair and you know that they mean business, and that's just what I've been feeling, you know, like I'm ready to chop my hair. It's driving me nuts, and I'm just ready to step into like let more, like I want to keep my innocence, you know, and my because I am very sweet, and like I am a Gemini. I don't know why I'm telling you all these personal things, but why not? And I have like this light and this dark side to me, and I do have this like side to me that people don't see, that I don't want people see. Like I said, like it's almost like two personalities. Not in like a weird way, I guess, but it's like I do have this like playful, innocent energy, but I also have this like very dominant, like very aggressive, like dark energy, and like this boss energy. That's what it feels like just this badass, like I see like a Black Panther a lot. And that's what I feel like. I feel like an animal. Like I feel like this wild woman. And I don't really share that part of me with, like, you know, that's like a process, so I'm really like coming into that aspect of my like womanly self, my more like empress like energy, and less of my like page energy or like my childlike energy. I still, especially because like Gemini as my sun sign, so your sun sign kind of represents how you see yourself, and then your rising sign kind of represents how the world sees you or how people perceive you. My sun sign is Gemini, which is like very innocent, childlike, that's kind of how I see myself. But then my rising sign is a Scorpio, and that's just like very like mystical and like kind of dark and mysterious. And I don't know, when it was Scorpio season, I just felt like this, like, and the Scorpio represents like the phoenix rising from the ashes, so I was just feeling a lot of that energy. And with the fiery energy I'm feeling, it's just like, whoa, okay. So no, I'm trying to like step more into that, like, because sometimes I feel like maybe I can be a little intimidating, especially if I use this like harsh communication. That's like Knight of Swords, like my past wounding. If I kind of communicate from that place, which is funny because I've always been very blunt and very straightforward, and that's good for masculine, my masculine energy, because our masculine energy is like our leader energy, and when we communicate really clearly, we can be very powerful. But it's because I had that like communication wounding, I want to call it. But sometimes it can be hard for me to communicate clearly and effectively and have it come across kind, you know, without it coming across harsh. So anyway, that's just a little bit about me. Like I said, sometimes these readings just feel like they're for me, so why not, even if they're not for anyone else. Like, it's nice to be able to share myself, and like, I don't know, this is honestly what I do to help me move through my feminine energy when I don't know anything. I can't see anything with my eyes, or I don't know anything. I feel things. And that's the best part, though, is like, I trust my feelings over everything. It's been a hard process to like, to trust, but it's like, that's all I know now. I'm just like, anyway, I just feel like a whole new person. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, I'm not feeling the same. Like, I'll always, like, Taylor Swift has this quote that's like, I'll never change, but I'll never stay the same. And that's just what it feels like. I'm Ashley, but it's like, I'm just discovering so much more about me and what I'm capable of and who I am, and it's very interesting. So, it would be interesting to, like, meet people. It's weird because I say meet them, but, like, I already know them. But they may still have like preconceived ideas about who I am, but it's just like, you don't know me at all, you know. So it's weird, like, to let go of our past like that, and to accept it, like, that people are never gonna really truly know who we are, because only we can know that. But we can share as much as possible, and that's what I like to do. I just want to share people. I want to show who I am, because I like who I am, and for so long I did it, and it reflected in my outer world. So anyway, next, on to the last one, and then I'll pull a couple of oracle cards. I'm already at 33 minutes. Okay. So what is the advice for us this week? What is your advice for us this week? Okay, here's the page. Page of Pentacles. So this is really innocent. This is like, but I like this card because this is like a new, like a fresh approach to, like abundance and the physical and the material world. Because for me, for so long, like, I was in my feminine energy, which is very like spiritual, but it's more about like we're bringing heaven to earth. And so it's like bringing those spiritual ideas down and grounding them into the earth, and then creating something from them, because that's what the pentacles are all about, is like creating something. But this is still very innocent, which is very like childlike. So it's like, it's a new beginning. And what I have to remind myself is like, because I don't know a lot about like money or like finances, but I want to create a lot of money. Honestly, that's part of why I came here. So, like I have this desire to like know more and to find out more and to grow more, in the physical, if that makes sense, but using my spiritual. And so it's like, and I like that this is under here too. I don't know, I feel like this was under the deck. I just sat it upright. So this is like the Page of Wands. So another page, and this is like your desires, like, but still being very innocent and moving forward, because I feel like when you're first starting out, you have to move forward and you have to be in like this childlike energy and this innocent energy for you to not get overwhelmed or to not get defeated or feel like, because like you see how her desires are almost taller than her, the wand is bigger than her, and she's like looking up towards it. It's like sometimes, okay, so like I said, dream really big, so your desires may be really big, like my desires are really big. But I'm thinking like with this, it's like it's totally possible, like you're just young, which is important. I feel like it's really important to be young and to have these big desires, because we start young with this like earth energy and this pentacle energy, and you can just grow it, you know. So this is like, and this is like fire and this is earth, so this is very like grounded energy to me, very earth grounded. Like the mind, like the swords and the cups are more like the emotion. So these are both very masculine energies, even though I see these both as women because they're pages, you know. But it's just like this very fresh, like new beginnings, new ideas, new creative ideas, because the wands are about creation and creative ideas, and maybe you want to turn those creative ideas into money and financial abundance. That's the advice. So I feel like the advice is just like keep moving forward with your desires, because they will turn into something, but you're just at this stage right now, and like we have to accept that we're at that stage. Okay, what else? Let's pull one more from the tarot. What else is your advice with this Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands? What's your advice this week? Interesting. Okay, so Four of Wands. This to me speaks of like union. It also speaks to me about like home, and like it's like a foundation because it's four, so it's like a stable foundation. This is like home. This is like joy and excitement and marriage, potentially, like a union. That's what it feels like to me. So and this is another wand, so this is like desires. I feel like it's like focus on this, because this may be desire, because for me personally, like being in a relationship to me is abundance. Love to me is abundance. And this is just like the desire. So the desire to maybe potentially be in this like union. And interesting. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there, and then I'll do an oracle card. Actually, let me do one more there. What can you tell us about this Four of Swords? Or Four of Wands. What's your advice this week? I feel like focus on this is the advice. Like, focus on this joy. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. Focus on this joy, and then as you focus on that joy and the love you feel, like, these are gonna grow. Your desires are gonna grow. Like, your abundance is gonna grow. Because if your abundance does come from, like, love, like, abundance isn't always, like, finances. Abundance isn't always money. Then under the deck here, I just have the Queen of Cups. So this is like being emotionally stable, and then under that is the Ten of Cups. So this is like emotional fulfillment with other people, like family, love. So yeah, to me, abundance is more about love than it is about, especially because I know that like with the person that I love, I could do anything like in the world. Because I believe in myself. And then, the person you love is generally going to believe in you, which I would hope. I would not be with anyone that doesn't believe in me. So, let's do energy oracle. So to me, abundance is like love and like emotional fulfillment, and it's less about the finances, because I know that like whatever happened is going to happen, and like I don't know, I've also spent a lot of lifetimes homeless or like poor, begging, and I've also spent a lot of lifetimes as like an arrogant and greedy man, so neglecting my family, like neglecting my health. I was obese, in this lifetime, and so I've just been thinking a lot about that, and like I was very gluttonous, and I still can be, honestly. That's something that I've noticed about myself, especially in America. We just have a lot of food, and so I looked up what gluttonous, like the actual definition. Sometimes I look up definitions. I'll hear words because I'm very clairaudient that I received from my my guidance, my guides, and so I'm like, okay, then I'll just Google it on Google, and I get so many more messages from the definition. So when I looked up gluttonous, one of the things was like greedy, so I was like, okay, that makes so much sense. So in this lifetime, I just wanted to balance that out. So like I said, I've been very poor, very homeless, like begging, and I've also had a lot of money and I have been greedy, so I wanted to balance that out in this lifetime. That's why I had to get my heart straight, and when you follow your purpose, it's going to come from a place of serving, and so I want to serve, and in order for me to serve, I want to make a lot of money, so I have the freedom to, have my own life. Like, I want to be able to travel the world, I want to be able to have children, I want to be able to do things for myself, but I also want to be able to, like, serve. I want to work with, like, the homeless and people that are, like, I just believe homelessness stems from a extreme lack of self-worth. They don't know their value. And so anyway, that's just a little bit about me and what I want to do. That's part of my purpose. So, all right, what can you tell us about the overall energy for the week? With 2 of Swords and 6 of Cups. The overall energy this week. I love this. I was just talking about value. Door to value. So when you make this decision here. It's pretty straightforward, explanatory. Also a 4 card, very balanced card. 6, 2, 4. Door to value. This decision you make is going to be prosperous. It's going to be filled with abundance. And look at the money flying through that door there. It's kind of blurry. But yeah, I'm going to leave that at that. Door to value. So, whatever this decision you make, it's leading to value. I was just talking about that. That's just so funny. I love when Spirit does that. Okay. So then next on to what does Spirit want us to know with the Empress and the 10 of Swords. What does Spirit want us to know this week? Okay. Envy. So this is mostly about focusing on what you already have and nurturing, which is all about this Empress card, like nurturing the qualities in you that are valuable. So you're not like searching outside. You might want, okay, with this Page of Pentacles, what I'm getting, and this like door to value, these speak to me a lot about each other, because this is the advice and this is the overall energy. So know that you're young, and that like your abundance energy is very young. It's just starting off. It's going to grow and grow and grow over time, especially maybe potentially in like a partnership like this. So we may tend to envy. We want what other people have. Maybe other people, like for me personally, like I see other people traveling. I would love to be doing that. I see other people like coaching and making a living doing that, and that's what I want to do, but I can't envy. I have to be in this childlike energy of like, you're just starting off. It's okay to like not like get defeated, or which would be like this card, feeling defeated. So it's about like nurturing yourself and like empower yourself. Don't envy other people. If you see other like for me, example, if I see other women like doing that, like I don't allow myself to be like, I hate them, like I want what they have, because that's what envy is. That's like jealousy. It's like focus on what you have. Focus on your power. Like embody that Empress energy, because the Empress energy and this envy card are kind of like the opposite. Like, so beware of when you envy, of when you want what other people have. And like if you want a relationship, this has really helped me. I want a relationship, but it's like a lot of people tend to envy couples that are happy or are joyous, you know? And instead of like being envious of them and like, I want that, like, and I'm bitter because I don't have it, like, instead I send them love and I'm like, you're beautiful, like, you look so cute together, like, and that just totally shifts your whole energy and brings you out of this like sense of lack, because I feel like that's what we're coming out of. And I love that because it comes with door to values, the overall energy. So this is like really finding your value and knowing your worth, and just believing that you are worth it. So that's good. All right. And then what are we not seeing clearly with this death and the devil and these knights here? What are we not seeing clearly this week? Okay, the thinking woman in reverse. So this is about like not really trusting your intuition. I'm going to read that here really quick actually in the reverse. Because I really think it's just about like being disconnected from your feelings. Like, don't get too caught up, especially if you're focusing like on the finances and the money and you want that. That's cool to think about. That's good. But then you have to like take a step back and you're like, okay, come back into this receptive energy. So don't get too caught up in the finances. Okay. So reversed, this could represent a difficult time for your own personal growth. You may be feeling confused about your personal purpose or disconnected from your heart's true path. Look within and open up to your own inner guidance. Trust your intuition about what you need to learn in order to move on. The thinking woman reverse could also indicate a woman who is misleading you or giving you misinformation of some sort. Be aware and set boundaries. Remember, your own spirit is always your best guide. So, if this is happening, like this deception, because that's what I'm getting with the devil card, deception, and like this ending, this death. So I guess just take what resonates. Either like, just listen to your heart, like, follow your intuition, follow your feelings. You can trust them. Trust that feminine energy. Okay. While still being grounded in your masculine energy. Alright, next, what is the advice for this week? What is the advice this week? Okay, Journey in Reverse. I like this because it's pretty much like the same message. I'm going to read it. I'm pretty sure it's just like about, like going inward, looking inward instead of looking outward. That's why I feel like it's like focus on this like joy, focus on this like union, focus on this love. And then that's bringing your desires and your finances into alignment with your highest good. So 2 here. You may desire to move or just get away for a while, but the reverse of this card could indicate a delay or even a cancellation. Something could be standing in your way, or perhaps lines of communication may get crossed. Don't let the potential changes upset you. Refocus your energy and be flexible enough to alter your schedule or destination as needed. Remember, you can always create new adventures, even in your present location or situation. That's perfect, because this could represent like a home, and your desire could be to move. Like this could be your desire to move and to have a home. Personally, that's what I feel. So this is a really nice message. So yeah, so this is about like, and like I totally feel like running away, and you can see her, I'll put it like this. You can see her, you know, she's like ready to go on a new adventure. And so you might be like craving an adventure, like craving to get away. So allow that desire to be there, but also be flexible. So like in your feminine energy, like things aren't always going to go the way that you want them to go. And so it's important to be flexible. That's the advice. And then under here, I'll just share this one. Door to Spirit. So this is beautiful. I really like this card. This is a 5 card. This is all just about like a potential gateway, a door opening, like an aha moment, clarity, illumination. So that's nice. And then let me pull one from Lightwork Oracle. Actually, I'm going to do Journey of Love. I always do that. Okay. I'm like super careful. Alright, so last one. I know that I get a little long-winded, but okay. So, what is the overall message for the week? The overall message for the week, Spirit. Do we need to hear or know this week? We need to hear or know this week. I'm going to take this one. Guardian of the Soul Family. I better show it. Guardian of the Soul Family. 26. I think this is actually about, like, moving. That's funny. Like, closer to your soul family, I think. Okay. Yeah. You are being drawn to kindred spirits in the physical world by loving guardians in the spiritual worlds. If you feel you are leaving relationships behind, do not be afraid. The space that such courageous action creates is something necessary in order to have room for the new to enter your sphere of consciousness. You may also feel that somehow a relationship that seemed to be held back from you is now becoming available to you. That's what I feel with this. There is a great soul love calling you into more intimate connection now. It is sanctioned by the divine. It is a karmic, oh my gosh. I'm just feeling, I don't know, like I just couldn't, like, hear out of that ear. That was just bizarre. Sometimes I feel like my guides are, like, right here. Okay. There is a great soul love calling you into a more intimate connection now. It is sanctioned by the divine. It is a karmic destiny to fulfill. There is love that you are to experience in connection with particular souls predetermined by the divine plan. If you are struggling to feel the soul purpose in your current relationships, which that was also in this card here too, like feeling disconnected from your purpose, in current relationships, take heart, for you are being helped by divine guardians who, that's funny because I could feel my guides right there, who understand and support the sacred purpose of your relationships. And I just wrote a blog post about relationships, so be open to current relationships healing, which I feel like that from this card too. Like relationships healing. Whether that means improved communication, which communication came up again, and enrich experience, or the realization that you have traveled as far as you can together. And know that new relationships are going to be an important aspect of your spiritual destiny being fulfilled. Trust in the divine timing of your life and open your heart to the guardians who help you with unconditional love now. The guidance of this oracle for you is that relationship healing is taking place, and present relationships unfolding, and attracting the right relationships for you for your future growth, and in leaving behind relationships of the past with a peaceful heart. Be gentle with your heart, beloved. All is well. That's beautiful. And now I'm going to read the poem. When I open my heart, you cover me with a blanket of love, and warm the silence with your caress. Words unspoken say it all, as we become more than we are alone. That's beautiful. Beautiful, and that was like the overall energy with the 6 of Cups. Beautiful. Okay, that's it. I'm going to end it here. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll be back next week, and I'm sending lots of love.